Let me see, am I at the right angle? Last time I noticed I wasn't quite there. I'm adjusting it a little bit because for whatever reason, when I'm looking at this, sometimes I'm at an angle. I've noticed that, which is a little strange. But anyway, okay, so we are at 5:45 Pacific, 8:45 in the evening over on Eastern. Midwest Mountain Time, it's 7:45. So hopefully I'm catching everybody at a time that is convenient. We're going to be talking today about how to send out 100 offers per day. And what I'm going to do is put my phone on vibrate. This is what happens when you go live. Better than I thought. Okay, so um, while I give the algorithm a little bit of time to let people know that we are live, I am looking at the camera to make sure that we are um, actually facing. And I think we are. I think we're good. Okay, so while I give the camera, or excuse me, while I give the algorithm time to notify people that we are live, we're going to talk a little bit about our first image. You know, I do this a lot, so I work on these slides as I'm preparing them. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to use AI to create our images. One of my favorite tools is the Gemini Image Labs that Google has. And so the prompt for this was a photorealistic, lifelike dragon in an all American neighborhood on a cul de sac with neighbors out on their streets waving their hands while a Tiffany blue dragon and neon green wearing a denim studded vest holds a bazooka over its shoulder, shooting out hundreds of pages of into the sky. And oh, I forgot the red boots and red biker boots. And this is what they gave me. So this was the image that they gave me. It isn't quite a lifelike image. It's more of a character or a mascot, in my opinion, but this is what it gave me. And if you don't know what the Deal Bazooka is, it's a tool that allows us to send out hundreds and hundreds of offers out every single day. And so I think the AI generated image does a pretty good job of emulating or describing what it is that I envision and what it is that the tool actually does. So we've got Dispo the dragon dressed as a rocker with a bazooka over its shoulder. Well, in this case, it's not over its shoulder, but clearly holding the cannon, fight and shooting out hundreds and hundreds of offers in an all-American neighborhood. Right? So I think it did a good job. All right, let's go to the first slide. First slide is, what is this? Well, it's called the Deal Bazooka, and the the Deal Bazooka is what we use to send out hundreds and hundreds of offers out every single day. Do me a favor and be sure that you like and follow us. Make sure that you subscribe to our content so that way you can have access to all the stuff that we are creating and curating for you. Over 50% of the people that are watching our videos, right, believe it or not, are people who are not subscribed to us yet, and they are people who are not following us on any of our social media platforms. So please make sure that you like and follow us. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure that you click on the bell icon so that way you can be alerted anytime we upload new content that we create or curate for you. Additionally, if there's any other content that you'd like to see us cover, send us a DM and we'll try to cover it on the next training. Ideally, we'll be going live at least once a day, no less than once a day, Monday through Friday, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday, but typically at least once a day during the week. And in some cases, we'll even have enough content or enough questions that people provide us with to where we can do this twice. So make sure that you like and follow us. This business becomes a lot easier when you know the rules, when you understand the rules of the game, right? It's just like anything else. In order to become better at it, you have to understand the way to play the game, if you will. Now, I know that, some people might get offended by even comparing what it is that we do to a game, or the fact that, we're talking about people's really their greatest asset, which is probably their house or any real estate that they own. And I don't mean it as an insult to them. I mean it in the form of a comparison, right? So before you get your undies in a bunch, I'm not calling what we do a game. I'm just saying that the better you know the rules, the better you know the strategies, the better you understand the concepts of how these businesses work, the more successful that you're going to be. Today, we're going to be going over some of these tools and how to implement them so that you could be more successful in your lead generation strategies. As a reminder, we are giving away 1 free year of Batch Dialer, 1 free year of the 5-line advanced dialer system. You're going to be able to enter into a raffle and you could win it. In order to enter into this raffle, and by the way, it's for the whole year. Okay, very, very important. You're going to win it and you have access to a 5-line dialer for a whole year. Just to put things into perspective, okay, when I first got started in this profession, I was making calls dialing manually, not the rotary phones, thank God. Nope. By the time I got involved, I was still using the push button phones and I had to hold it manually. Then I eventually graduated to a shoulder rest and then we eventually got headsets. But we were using landlines to make our calls. I had to dial, and I would dial manually for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. During an 8-hour period of doing this, I was lucky if I was able to make about 300 to 400 calls, right? It was grueling. Now you've got an automated system that will dial for you, and each line can probably call about 100 to 150 dials per hour. Per hour, believe it or not, okay? Depending on how many people it actually answers. So if you've got 5 lines dialing for you, that's a considerable amount of people that you're going to be able to get a hold of. Now, in order to be entered into the raffle, you have to visit free.dispodragons.com, free.dispodragons.com. It doesn't cost you anything to enter. You do have to participate in a training that we are going to be hosting with the Batch Company. It's on March 20th, which is in 3 days at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You participate in the free training. You get we're going to be giving away 2 codes, okay? One in the middle and one at the end. Or maybe not in the middle. Maybe it'll be towards the beginning. Maybe it'll be towards the last 3 quarters. Bottom line is we're giving 2 codes, okay? Because some people think that they're smart and they'll just log in at the very end to get the code. It's not going to work that way. So we're going to give 2 codes throughout the presentation. You DM us the code through Instagram within 10 minutes of the conclusion of the training, and you're entered into the raffle. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of work. How could they? How dare he expect me to register, then sit through a training, then write down these codes, then DM them the codes just so that I could get 1 free year of a 5-line dialer valued at $2,300. How dare he think that I would put myself and subject myself through that? Boo hoo. I really, look. You don't want to do it, don't do it. Not a big deal. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to win this, and somebody's going to get a free 5-line dialer that can make them no less than 500 calls a day, if not more. If not more. And they're going to be successful at this, and they're going to use that tool. So it's up to you. You can do it. You can register. You can participate. If you haven't picked up a copy of my book yet, please go pick it up. Okay, it's on Amazon. All right, you can go to Amazon, look for the book Deal Like a Dove, Dispo Like a Dragon. It's a good book. Now, I'm not saying that just because I wrote it. Trust me, I've read other books. I've read other ebooks. I've read other 20-page manuals as a PDF. I've bought other books. I've got them signed by the people that wrote them. Trust me, I've researched these books. I've read them. And what I did was I discovered that I had my own little unique niche inside that same community. And so I am teaching a lot of stuff on how to build your very own real estate investing business while using wholesaling as an exit strategy. Okay, so it's a really good book. Pick it up. If you buy it and then take a picture of yourself with the book, tag us on social media. I will give you a free copy of the Audible version as well. Here's a shortcut. To get the book on Amazon, you go to dove.dispodragons.com, dove.dispodragons.com. Now, if you do that and then Amazon sends you to a redirect page that says prove you're a human, it's not that it's spam. It's that Amazon doesn't necessarily like redirecting websites, and so that website obviously redirects it to the actual page on their in their superstore, mega store, Amazon store. So just, prove you're a human. If you got to rotate the little arrow so that you can get the vase and the balls aligned, get them aligned. If you got to hit the letters to match the matching letters and the matching colors, come on, right? We're all grown boys and girls here. All right, dove.dispodragons.com. If you don't know who these 2 people are, then you are probably hiding under a rock. sleeping under a rock, hiding under your blankets, or you've had your head in the sand. You know that this is Jay-Z, and you know that this is Warren Buffett. Now, they are very good friends, and Jay-Z has on many occasions called Warren Buffett his mentor. There's a very famous picture of Jay-Z and Warren Buffett in a diner with Steve Forbes, who, for whatever reason, was cropped out of this image, and they're having a milkshake. Apparently, Warren Buffett enjoys having his Coke or a Pepsi. I don't remember exactly which one it was. If you guys want to correct me on that, you're more than welcome to. But he enjoys his cola once a day, and he enjoys his milkshake once a day. Those are his guilty pleasures. And he was at a diner with Jay-Z. Now, Jay-Z, who is obviously wildly successful in his own right, went out and sought out a mentor, a billionaire, to teach him how to become a billionaire and to get him there faster. He is now a multi-billionaire, and he has created other billionaires. And if you've heard Jay-Z's music, he'll talk about, how many billionaires have come out of his house, the Rock Boys. Like, come on. Right? What does that tell you? If you have someone who is already very, very successful in their own right, and they're seeking out other mentors to make them even more successful, so why wouldn't you want to find a mentor who could help you in your business, who could help you learn how to be more successful, who could really just give you a shortcut on how to do it? You can. We have a profit sharing mentorship, and that slide was deleted. I love it when that happens. Our profit sharing mentorship is very, very affordable, and it incentivizes the mentee and it incentivizes the mentor to work together as a team, because they are both sharing in the profits of the assignment fees that are generated. Now, to learn more about that mentorship program, you can go to start.dispodragons.com, and you will see that you now have access to a closer on call. You don't have to feel shy or embarrassed about asking for help. You don't have to feel like you're overimposing by reaching out to them, calling them, texting them. Now, obviously, within reason, right? I mean, if you're calling them after normal business hours and they're not responding, I mean, come on. But I mean, now during the day, you can just reach out to them, say, I need help. Can you help me with this? And they have an incentive to help because they're getting a percentage of those profits. So visit start.dispodragons.com, start.dispodragons.com. But Paul, that just sounds like a JV. No, it doesn't. No, it isn't. Because a JV, right? JVing with somebody else really does not obligate you to one another, right? It's not really a marriage to one another. There are plenty of JV agreements that people work on, and one person doesn't carry their own weight, and they don't work on it, and nothing happens, and they're not successful. In this case, you've got two people that are actually committed to making this thing work because they each get paid. Whereas with a JV agreement, there is no guarantee that the other person is going to get paid if they don't close a deal, right? So anyway, visit it. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Deal Bazooka. The Deal Bazooka is a system. It's not the only system, all right? I want to make that very, very clear, because a lot of times people get shiny object syndrome, so they'll look at, what we do here with the Deal Bazooka. They'll look at other people who send out, offers using another system. They'll talk to me about the LOI Blaster, the Deal Sniper, the this, that, the Napalm, bomb blaster. There's so many things out there now, and so I just want you to understand that this is just a system. It's an alternative system for you to be able to use to generate leads, to generate your business, and it's something that we currently do every single day to generate business and deals and leads and contracts. Okay, every single day. All right. Now, does that mean that you're going to have immediate success when you do this? No. Just like anything, you have to commit to learning how to use this system, and the more that you use it, the more likely you're going to be successful, right? You can't just say, hey, I'm going to use this Deal Bazooka system today, and then I might not use it tomorrow, and I might not use it the next day, and now I'm feeling good about myself today, I'm going to get on it and I'm going to start using it. It's not going to work that way. You have to be consistent, just like with any other tool, all right? You have to give it enough respect and effort in order for it to produce the results that you want it to produce. Now, sending out hundreds of offers in the form of LOIs every day. That is what the Deal Bazooka does. It can send out 50. It can send out 100. It can send out 300. It can send out 400 LOIs per day. Now, what is an LOI? Let's talk about that because sometimes people ask me, what's an LOI? LOI stands for letter of intent. Now, how does that compare to an actual full-blown offer that is written on a state form? Well, it doesn't, because a letter of intent is just that. It's just a simple letter that talks about your intent to purchase the property at X price for X terms, and it lays it all out there. It lays out what those terms are, and then you present it to the agent, or you present it to the seller. Okay, Paul, well, in our state, you can't use an LOI. That's not true, right? That is not true. I heard somebody tell me that the other day. An LOI is just a letter. It's just an offer. It's no different than you sending a text saying, hey, I'd like to offer you $300,000 on your property. Hey, it's no different than you sending out a direct message to an agent on Facebook Marketplace saying, hey, I'd like to make an offer for $400,000 on this property. It's no different than you getting on the phone and calling a seller or calling an agent and saying, hey, I'd like to make an offer of $600,000 on this property. It's the exact same concept. The only difference is it's in a different format. It's a different strategy. So yes, it's not on a full-blown offer, but that doesn't mean that you can't make offers any other way. And we're going to talk about the significance of that, because real estate agents are to present all offers that they receive, if they are in writing, to the seller that they represent, unless the listing agent has language in their listing agreement with their seller that stipulates that listing agent John or Jane is not to present any offers, even if they are in writing, to the seller unless they are at X price or above. Unless. Now, for the record, I employed at one point over 150 agents that worked under our brokerage, and I will tell you that 99.5% of the time, those real estate agents, those broker associates, did not include language in their listing agreement that stipulated that, because they knew that by doing that themselves, what they would do is they would be shooting themselves in their foot, because then they would not have to present an offer that they would receive to a seller, even if it was lower than X price. Now, why would an agent still want to present an offer that is below what the seller is asking for on the market currently? Well, the reason that the agent would still want to, at least a smart agent, at least a savvy agent, at least an agent that wants to make a commission this year, because over 70% of the real estate agents that are out there right now have not sold one single home in the last year. Why would that savvy agent still want to present an offer, even if it's a lowball offer, to their seller? Well, because it's feedback. It's feedback for the seller, and the seller now sees what the market can bear. And if they start to see offers and they all start to sound the same and they're all around the same price range, well, the market has spoken, and now the seller can make the decision. Do they still want to play ball with buyers in that price range, or should they take the property off the market? But at least they're getting some type of a feedback, and it's not a reflection of the agent, who sometimes might be too scared to go present the offer to the seller because they don't want to get yelled at. They don't, because sellers, right? What's the stigma? What's the saying? Sellers are yellers and buyers are liars. Now, I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that these are the things that you hear being in this business. These are the phrases that people use. These are the little rhymes that people say, the little songs that they sing as they're conducting their business on a daily basis. So what's my point? My point is, if you send out an LOI to an agent, and the agent says, I'm not going to present this LOI because it's not on a state form, it's not on an approved form that it should be, then you can casually, professionally remind that agent, Mr. or Mrs. Agent, Mr. or Mrs. Jane Agent, John Agent, unless there's something in your listing agreement that stipulates that you are not to present any offers to your seller, even if they're in writing, below X price, then I'd like for you to present the offer to them, or I'll just go direct and I'll present it myself, and I don't think you'd like that. Now, look, that last part was a little ballsy, and I'm not telling you to do that, unless you've got an agent that doesn't want to present it, even though they're supposed to. Okay, so anyway, how does an LOI compare to a state offer? LOI is just a one page form, one page, simple, easy, fast, right? A state offer, an offer that is on a state board of realtors approved form, is usually anywhere between 5 to 12 pages. You know, the state of California, I think we're up to like 19 pages now on a damn offer, or 20 pages on an offer. So anyway, that's what an LOI is. So what the Deal Bazooka does is it sends out, dozens, hundreds of letters of intent nationwide to agents that have properties on the market. Now you can do this with sellers too, based on the data that you have. I'm not going to do a oh my gosh, why am I losing my brain? I'm not going to go through a whole demonstration of the Deal Bazooka. That's not what we're going to do. I'm explaining to you how it works and the principle behind it. If you're interested in learning more, you can visit our school community. Go to school.dispodragons.com, school.dispodragons.com, and you can learn a little bit more of the Deal Bazooka as it is there. There is a do-it-yourself course in school where it will teach you how to do this yourself, or you can avoid all that and we can just set it up for you, FYI. We provide the lead it's the LOI templates, not the lead templates. That's a typo. So letter of intent stands for, LOI stands for letter of intent. We will provide you with the letter of intent template, so you don't even need that. Okay, we'll give it to you, and that'll save you a bunch of time too. Now, I just recently saw a video that said, I don't, something along the, or a TikTok reel that said something along the lines of, I don't know if this video is going to get taken down, but before it does, you should learn how to get DeepSeek to write you a letter of intent on there just using AI. Yeah, I mean, you can do the exact same thing, right? You could, or you could use the templates that we'll give to you, right? I don't think that AI is going to give you the type of template that you would really want to use, but you never know. You could create your own template using AI. It's very, very, very possible. Now, if other people are doing it, why should I? All right, this is a good point. So if you've got other people that are using systems like the Deal Bazooka, and they're sending out dozens of offers every day, and they're sending out hundreds of offers every day, yeah, they're getting deals, but isn't the market saturated? Why would I want to jump into the pool? Why would I want to go do the exact same thing that they would want to do? Well, okay, so let's talk about this. Let's use the analogy of a term called restaurant row. Okay, if you have ever gone out dining, then you, in most major towns, in most major cities, they will have something called restaurant row, where all the restaurants are on that street, offering a variety of different foods. In some cases, those restaurants are actually offering the same food, right? I can go down to Old Town locally, and there are probably 3 or 4 sushi restaurants on the same street within 1 block of each other. So why would 4 sushi restaurants all be within 1 block of each other? Because that's where all the traffic is. That's where all the business is. That's the sandbox that all the big kids are playing in. And so if you are conducting your business based on, hey, I don't want to do this. Everybody else is already doing it. Why do I want to get involved in doing it? Right? Then what you are operating from is a scarcity mindset. And you're doing that from the very, very beginning. You want to go where the action is. You want to go where there is competition, right? Where people are competing for business. Because what that tells you is that there is money there. If there is competition there, then there is money there. If there's no competition there, like underwater basket weaving, then, that tells you why. So this whole attitude of, if other people are doing it, why should I? And lastly, understand that there are going to be some people that are going to relate to you better than they could ever relate to me. And for whatever reason, when I approach them and I make them some kind of an offer, just because I look like some guy that broke their daughter's heart while she was in high school at the prom, they won't give me the business in any way, shape, or form. Nothing I could do about it. There will be some people that will do business solely with you, just because it's you, because they will relate to you better than they'll ever relate to me. And there will be some people who will do business with me just because they can relate to me better than they can ever relate to you, right? That's just part of the business. There is business out there that is just for you. You just don't have the confidence yet to go out there and find out, because in order to find those people that will definitely do business with you beyond a shadow of a doubt, 110% they'll do business with you. But in order to find them, you have to talk to a whole bunch of other people. Like, will you do business with me? 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 Until you get to somebody who's like, yeah, I'll do business with you, because they trust you because it's you. That's exactly what this business is like. It's the same exact thing. So don't operate from a place of scarcity, and don't operate from the premise that, hey, there's other people doing it. No, there's other people that are doing it, but there's some business that is designated just for you and only you. Keep that in mind. Now, you're going to need to download the data. I recommend downloading the data from Batch Leads. Okay, I like Batch Leads. I like the Batch Service Company. Batch Leads, it's going to cost you about $120 a month. You're going to need data. Okay, I'm sorry, you're going to need data. Now, you can try to get around it. I've given you tips many, many times about how you can use title companies to provide you with the data and why they are incentivized to help provide you with that data. But look, you're going to need data any way you look at it. And even if the title companies give you that data for free, there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to give it to you skip traced. Okay, there's just no guarantee. At some point or another, you are going to have to invest in your business and spend a little bit of money in order to make this work. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. Okay? If I want to go to the gym and I want to get big muscles, I'm going to have to eat protein. I'm going to have to eat the right foods. I'm going to have to eat greens. I'm going to have to eat a lot of meats. And let me tell you, eating right is expensive if you want to stay, healthy and fit. It's expensive. It's not cheap. You want to build this business, you're going to have to invest some money in it. Okay, I don't care what anybody tells you. Yes, you can do a lot of this stuff for free, but you're going to have to invest a little bit of money. It's just part of what it is. I mean, who here thinks that they can go out there and start a business with absolutely zero? Yes, you can do it with some sweat equity, 100%. But at some point, you're going to want to invest a little bit of money in the business, because you have a finite amount of time. Right? You can make more money. You cannot make more time. So anyway, if you need data, go to batch.dispodragons.com, batch.dispodragons.com. It's $119 a month. You can download 10,000 records per month, and those records are skip traced already. So you're getting them pre-skip traced when you download it. So for instance, let's just analyze it in relation to the Deal Bazooka. If you've downloaded 10,000 records for the month, right, and you're sending out 100 offers per day, right, per day to properties that are on the market nationwide, well, how long will it take you to get through, to those 10,000? I mean, after 30 days, you've only done 3,000, right? So really, you could up the ante, and you could probably send out, I don't know, 200 offers a day. Yeah, 200 offers a day, and you'd probably get 4,000 done. You could send out 3,000. You start to do the math, you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, download the data from Batch Leads, batch.dispodragons.com. If you use our link, you're going to be able to get a free 7-day trial, and your first month you'll get 50% off as well. Okay? What are the metrics that you should be looking for? You need properties that have been sitting on the MLS for over 90 days or longer. I'm just glancing at the comments, guys. 90 days or longer. And you need properties with loan-to-value ratios of 90% or more. What does that mean, LTV and loan-to-value? Well, what that basically means is that they don't really have any equity. So the house is worth $500,000, but they have a mortgage on it for about $497,000. That is a house with very little equity, a house with very high loan-to-value ratio. Those are the two types of properties that you want to be attacking when you're using the Deal Bazooka, sending out offers to. So you need properties that have been on the market for over 90 days, and not both, right? And or properties with loan-to-value ratios of 90%. And I'm going to explain why it's not it's or, not and or, and, okay? Because those are two different type of strategies. So metrics on market, when you're submitting the offers, you're going to be sending them out at 50 to 65% of whatever the list price is if it's a single family residence. So if it's a single family residence, boom, easy. Just set the parameters on the Deal Bazooka, give them 50 to 65%. You can start at 50% and see what happens. All right. Are you going to upset some agents? Of course. Come on. Of course you are. Some agents are going to take offense to that, right? The smart agents are going to basically say, hey, listen, this offer is a little too low. How much can you come up? Right? Or the smart agents will just say, I'll present it to my seller, but they're going to be upset with it. Do your job. That's what you're supposed to do anyway. 50 to 65% of the list price for single family residences. And then when it comes to land, I want you to make them offers 30% of the list price. 30% of the list price, Paul, that is insane. How could we do that? Look, I know that there's a bunch of people that are teaching how you could flip land and you could, yes, you can flip land. But here's the thing. When it comes to flipping land, there's two types of parcels, right? There's the little parcels where you can only build one single family residence. And then there's acres on acres on acres, which are going to be which you're going to go after developers for to build, communities in there. Okay. So at the end of the day, you need to get it at an even lower price, especially because when it comes to land, they have to get permits, they have to get entitlements, they have to get all this stuff. So sometimes it takes even longer to get to do these land deals, even though they may be less expensive. You want to make it as attractive as possible. Start it at 30%. I'm telling you that right now, just based on experience. Okay, I'm telling you. And then you sub two, you can make them offers that are full to almost full to list price, believe it or not. So when they have a high loan to value ratio, using the example that I just used a short while ago, when they owe 497 on a $500,000 home, you can do a sub two offer where you're basically offering to take over the mortgage for the property. Okay, following all local, city, county, state laws when it applies to subject to. Make sure that you know about that. Make sure you're careful about that. How do you avoid getting into any hot water? You need a mentor. You need a mentor. That's the best way to do it. You need someone that knows how to do that. All right. But you can do this with sub two. You can take over their mortgage. That's what subject to is. It's you taking over that existing mortgage. Now, metrics for off-market direct to seller. So can you send these LOIs direct to the seller? Of course you can. Yeah, but as long as you have their email address. Okay, so what's the percentage of email addresses that Batch Dialer has? I don't know. That percentage could be 20%, 30%. So on a list of 10,000 records, you might only be able to capture, 3,000 of them that actually have email addresses, which is still not bad, right? You can still send out 3,000 letters of intent to these sellers. Now, let's just analyze that number for one quick sec. What's 1% of 3,000? Okay, 1% of that is, even my math isn't very good. It's 300, I believe, right? Or is it 30? 10% would be 300. 1% would be 30. So 30 LOIs. Let's say you send out 3,000, and out of those 3,000 you send out, 30 come back and they're willing to play ball with you. Now, out of those 30, you make them offers, and really, let's say another 1% actually come to fruition or turn into anything, right? So now you've got 30, 1% of that would be 3. So 3 of them actually go to contract, and out of those 3 that go to contract, let's just say again, only 33% of them actually sell. You only sell 1 to an end buyer, and that assignment fee is $7,500. Okay, you've just made $7,500 in the form of an assignment fee just for sending out your LOIs, just for sending out 3,000 LOIs for that month, and it did all the heavy lifting for you. All you had to do was respond, reply, and talk to those agents, negotiate the right price, find an end buyer, and you've earned your fee. Right? But you didn't have to get on the phone and call these 3,000 people, which is another strategy that works as well, but we're not talking about that tonight. All we're talking about is the deal bazooka. This works. It's just numbers. It's just pure numbers. Okay, don't overthink this. Just send out more offers. That's really what this boils down to. Okay, now I know that there's some people that are going to poo-poo this, and they're going to say, well, you're just throwing poop on the wall, and you just want to see what sticks, and to a certain degree that's accurate, right? That is accurate, right? You can try to target this as much as you can. You can break it down even more with the filters that are set in batch leads, and you can try to break that list and double stack that list, and then now you have lists that have been on the market, and then properties that have liens on them too, and then properties that are in default as well. And yeah, what that does is it just shrinks the list down even more to now where you've actually filtered it out even more with people that have more than one pain point. So what's one pain point? Somebody that has a property on the market for more than 90 days. What's another pain point? Somebody that actually has a property that's in default, right? And you can see using the batch data, you can see that property is in default. So now you've got someone that has their property sitting on the market and they're in default. What's another pain point? You find out that they have some type of code violation or lien on the property, and that shows up in batch leads as well. Now you've got someone that has 3 pain points. Is that somebody that you should be sending out an LOI to? You better believe it. Right? So you can narrow down the lists as you start to add additional parameters and additional filters. But if you've got 10,000 records every single month, right? Why not just send out the 10,000 records in the form of LOIs every single month and try to capture the 1% that will probably respond? Out of those 10,000, you've got 1%, 100 that will respond. Out of those 100 that respond, let's say what's 1% of that? Isn't that no, 100 will respond. And then let's say out of that 100, you get 33% of them, 1/3 that actually turn into something. Now you're at 30 contracts a month. Then out of those 30, let's say, again, 30% of them actually turn into a deal that closes. Now you're at 10 contracts a month. Do you have any idea how much money you're making at 10 contracts a month? Right? Again, it's just numbers. Don't overthink this. You just send out more offers. Now, what do you have to be prepared for? Well, you got to be prepared for a whole bunch of rejection. You have to be prepared for a whole bunch of agents telling you that you're the scum of the earth. You have, I mean, it comes with the territory. Oh, and by the way, if you think that an agent who is so high and mighty has never been called the scum of the earth, or an ambulance chaser, or a used car salesman, if you think they haven't been called those things, you're kidding yourself. They get called those things all the time. So I mean, like the fact that they're calling you that is like the kettle calling the pot black, right? It's just don't take insult to it. It is what it is, right? Just don't overthink it. Send out more offers, right? So if you're interested in learning more about the Deal Bazooka, go to our dollar club. You can go to school.dispodragons.com. It's going to cost you $1 to join our community. Yeah, I mean, look, don't complain about it. It's $1, right? Just pay the damn dollar and join the community. If you want to purchase the Deal Bazooka system, as I said earlier, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it yourself. There's a course in there that teaches you exactly how to do it yourself, exactly how to set it up yourself, and you can do it entirely on your own. Or there's a done-for-you system where we'll do everything for you. It'll be completely set up for you. All you need is the data. You just need to download the data. It'll be ready for you to go. Import the data. Boom. Start sending out offers the very next morning. Okay, obviously that's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you can go to school.dispodragons.com. You can learn more about it. And no, we're not talking thousands and thousands of dollars. There isn't a monthly recurring fee for this. It's just a one-time fee. Very, very affordable in my mind. I feel like we should be charging more for it, but you can use the system and you can send out hundreds of offers every single day. All right. I appreciate everybody being here with us. Again, if you have any questions that you might need some help on, or you'd like us to cover, how to do certain things in this business. A lot of these videos at this point, we're at like 60 to 70% of the content that we're creating every single day is coming from the questions that we get from people sending us DMs, emails, posts on our communities or on our board. So keep them coming. If there's something that you'd like to have us cover, again, there's other people that cover the same information. Not everybody's going to have my perspective on it, my background on it, especially being a broker for almost 30 years now. No, for 30 years. I got my real estate license at 18. It became a broker at 30. I'm 48 now. So just do the math, right? Not every one of them will have that same perspective, and not everyone's going to have my same flavor, or in Spanish, as they say, sabor, right? So look, it is what it is, right? Like and join, follow us, all of that jazz, and make sure that you subscribe so that you can get alerts to when we share new content, especially the new stuff that we're creating and curating for you. If you have a deal right now and you're having trouble with that deal and you're looking at it and you're like, I can't find buyers for it. Look, that's what we do. We find buyers. Dispo Dragons. Duh, right? So if you have a deal, you're having trouble getting it sold, be sure to reach out to me. We can take a look at that deal, and if we need to restructure it, we can offer you some advice on how to restructure it. We can also go in there and try to help you restructure it, and we can also blast it out to all of the buyers that we have that are chomping at the bit for deals. They're looking for more deals in almost every major metro market. All right, they're not really buying in rurals, but major metro markets, we have a bunch of buyers. So let me know, send us a message, and we can analyze that deal with you. If you're just getting started and you need someone to look at a deal, or you need a second set of eyes to kind of review something for you before you go out there and make an offer, send us a message. We can analyze that deal together. I would suggest you join our profit sharing mentorship. Go to start.dispodragons.com, start.dispodragons.com. Get yourself a mentor. Again, very, very, very affordable in comparison to a lot of the other mentorships and coaching programs that I have seen out there and paid for and participated in myself, and continue to pay for and participate myself in additional masterminds, in additional meet and greets, all of that stuff. We all need mentors. I have my own as well. Okay, I appreciate you guys being here. Have a great night, and if you need anything else, feel free to DM me or message me. We'll talk soon.